Hello, welcome to Yoga Standing Poses. So this class is just all about some standing poses. So it is suitable to a beginner as well as intermediate level or more advanced, depending on how well you engage your muscles in this practice. There is no flow in this practice. It's all standing. We will not get down on the floor at all. But I do recommend that you have a couple blocks here. And you'll see why after a moment. We're going to start and end with the half sun salute. No vinyasa there. And then we'll move one block to each side. So when we do our standing poses, they are there in case you need them. So from here, let's get started. So we'll start with our opening. So I'm going to recommend we stand about hip width apart here. Good. And as you stand here, maybe just move back and forth or really side to side first. Good, feeling both edges of the feet. Now maybe come forward and back a few times, just kind of finding the balls of the feet, finding the heels. Good, a little softness in the knees, and then find big toe and pinky toe mounds in the heels. And could you press in? Good. And maybe even lifting the toes a little bit here. Feel how that feels on the arch. I'm actually going to come just a little bit closer. Good. And then from here, lower that down. I'm keeping my knees soft. So here's locked knees. Here's soft knees. I want soft knees. I'm going to zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. So I'm thinking about that whole engagement line here. If you're not sure what that is today, think about belly button into the spine. We'll relax through our shoulders. And we'll take hands to the side. Slight tuck in the chin. Good. So just notice yourself for a moment. So as you're standing here in your mountain pose, do you have anywhere you could soften a little bit more? So could you stand a little bit more at ease? Could you relax through the shoulders or the jaw, the face? Could you expand the rib cage on your inhale with a little bit more ease? Maybe relax through the tailbone. Inhaling through the nose, expanding that rib cage. Exhale, take it out. Again, big inhale and expand. Exhale, taking it out. And one final time, big inhale. Exhaling it out. Good. From here, big inhale, take the arms up overhead. Reach, 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 reach. Feel the sides of the body elongate. Grow taller from heel to crown of the head, touching palms together. Exhale, hands and heart center. Connecting with an intention for this practice. What would you like to give or receive? Maybe you'd like to dedicate this to someone or something. Gratitude is always a great one. And then from here, once you have that set, we'll carefully release. Good. From here, I'm going to come to the top of my mat. I've got my 2 blocks here. My feet are still about hip width apart. And then from here, I'm going to inhale, reach, 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 and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to hinge from the hips and fold. Now bend the knees here if you need to. We're going to come to the blocks. Good. From here, once I feel stable and okay, maybe I come a little bit deeper into this fold. Now, your knees, different people will be at a different degree here, but I like a nice little subtle bend. So not a lock knee, but a soft knee. And some of you might not need the blocks. Maybe you can touch the ground, and that's okay too. Good. From here, when you're ready, inhale, we're going to lift and lengthen. We're lengthening that spine. We're nice and flat. Exhale, let's take another fold. Now inhale, root through your feet, engage through your glutes. We're going to come all the way up to standing. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding your breath, your intention, and a soft kneed mountain. When you're ready, we're going to step out wide. So I'm going to take one of my blocks with me, and I'm going to take it to my other side. Good. And then from here, I'm just going to step my feet out wide. Now, how far wide you come depends on the person. So if you're a little bit more open and flexible in the hips and in the groin area, you might actually step out a little bit wider. But as a general rule of thumb, to give you an idea, if you take your arms out here, think about wrists and ankles being in alignment. Okay. Now, from here, I'm just going to take my hands to my waist. Check in with your forearm below. So you want your big toes to be in alignment here. The edges of your feet are parallel to the edges of the mat. I'm also pressing through the outer edges of the feet, so I'm not collapsing in here. I want that nice engagement on the outside. You're going to feel it in the outer parts of the glutes here. And as you press, you should feel a little bit more musculature engagement as well as core control. Okay, now from here, I'm going to take a big inhale. I'm going to reach, reach, reach. Exhale, take that down. Good. We're going to go into Warrior 2. I'm going to take my right foot out. So as I take my right foot out, my toe, my foot is perpendicular to the short edge of the mat. From here, I'm going to angle in this back foot. So think about the toes turning inward. You can have a heel to heel, heel to arch, or maybe this leg needs to come out a little bit wider. So by wider, it means it's going to come more this way. Okay, so be where you need to be here. I'm in a different alignment on this side than you'll see me do on the other side. Everybody's a little bit different. We practice where we can practice. Good. Now from here, I'm going to take my arm out and we're going to come into a Warrior 2. So my hip, knee, and toe are tracking here towards the pinky toe. I'm going to get into that heel and I'm going to come out. So dynamic movement. We're going to come in and touch and come out. Press through the outer edge of the back foot. Be strong. And come out. Good. One more time. Maybe we hold this one a little bit more. Zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel. Think about one day shoulder and hips being in alignment, even though they may not be today. I'm looking towards that front finger. Inhale. Exhale. I'm going to lengthen this front leg, and we're going to do a dynamic flow into Exalted Warrior. So I'm just going to take it back. Good. And come back, Warrior 2. And come up and take it back. And Warrior 2. And take it back. I'm going to hold it here. Reach, reach, reach. Rooting your feet into the mat will help with balance. So be mindful. Good. Inhale. Exhale, coming into a Warrior 2. Good. Now, you'll see me bend. A lot of the time, not all the time, I can take my knee over the ankle, which is what we're going for eventually. If that's not you, it's okay to have the knee behind the ankle. We don't want the knee in front of the ankle. So always give yourself a test. You should be able to see this front toe. If not, that foot needs to be more forward. Okay, good. I'm going to lengthen. Okay, I'm going to turn my right foot in, and we're going to fold center. So pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the hips. Hinge forward. Find the length. Good. Hands are going to come down when you feel comfortable. Breathe here. Now, notice how you feel. We're not going too deep here, but do still engage to the outer edges of the feet. Breathe and expand the rib cage, long spine. Shoulders in their pockets. From here, I'm going to put a little bit of a bend in the knees. I'm going to take my hands to my thighs. I'm pressing through the outer edges of the feet here as I come up. Good. We're going to take that little series to the other side. So now I'm going to turn my left foot out. Good. I'm going to angle in my back foot. And remember, like I said, my alignment on this side is different than the other side. So a heel to heel, a heel to arch, you can take this leg out wider. Good. Now from here, we're going to come into Warrior 2 dynamically. So we're just going to kind of come in. Watch that knee tracking towards pinky toe and come out. And we'll come in and we'll touch Warrior 2, pressing through the back edge of the back foot and come out. Find your muscles. And we'll come back in and we'll come out. Go to your personal limit. Come back in. Maybe we hold this one for a moment. Zip up through the front body. Look over that front finger. Relax the shoulders. Good. Now, the longer you stay here, the harder this becomes. Good. I'm going to lengthen. Good. Going into exalted dynamically here. So we'll come back and reach and warrior two. And we'll come back and we'll reach and warrior two. Again, be mindful of knee tracking. Come back, hold here, really root those feet into the mat. I'm really reaching towards my ceiling. Inhale, exhale, come back to warrior two. I'm going to lift. I'm going to come back in, turning my feet in. Good. I'm taking them back parallel to the side of the mat. From here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the hips. And we're going to take that fold center again, pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Take your hands down when you're ready. Good. Now you can stay here in this wide-legged table that we did before, or maybe you want to bend your elbows coming a little bit deeper here. If you choose the deeper options, keep length in the torso. Soft knees, big expansive breath. Inhale, we'll lift out of there, pressing through the outer edges of the feet, a little bit of a bend in the knees. We're going to walk that back up. Good. Coming back to the right side. So I'm going to take that foot back out. I'm going to turn this back foot in, adding on this time. Good. Now, watch your knee tracking. Sometimes if you have trouble with the knee falling inward, think about the front hip coming back just a smidge, and then see if that helps this knee track towards the pinky toe a little bit more. Zip up through the front body. We're going to reach. Notice how this feels to you now versus the first set that we did. Good. From here, you have options. You can keep the knee bent for exalted, or you can lengthen that leg. Find yours. Breathe. Come back to that intention. Is it gratitude? Gratitude that we can stand on 2 feet. We can move our bodies. We can work on our bodies, work on balance, work on negative, way for positive. Inhale, exhale, find warrior two. Good. Now I'm just going to lengthen out of here for a moment. And I'm going to come back into my warrior two, set up for good form. Form and warrior two is everything for this next one. Extended side angle. So this is where you might need a block. If you're more of a beginner and you're really working on that opening here, I recommend taking a block. Remember, you've got 3 heights. You've got this one, you've got this one, you've got this one on the outside. Those of you that are more experienced, I recommend it on the inside. You can always take your hand down here, or if reaching for the block is too much, you can always have a forearm on the thigh, okay? So I'm just gonna take my block here on the outside. I kind of slid a little bit here, so I'm gonna bring my back foot in just a little bit. Good. So from here, finding my nice warrior two. Inhale, exhale. I'm pressing through the back foot, that back leg. I'm lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. My belly button is in. You choose where to go. Watch your front knee over behind the ankle. You choose forearm to the thigh and open up here. Do you choose hand to a block, or do you take it to the floor? So I'm taking hand to the block. Good. I'm relaxing through this front foot, but I'm in the front heel and I'm in the back edge of the back foot. Think about really opening up here. Arm can be overhead or straight up. And we're breathing. We're breathing. We're breathing. Good. Looking down at that front foot. I'm going to lengthen here. I'm using that block. I'm getting into that heel to help me. I'm going to lengthen that leg. I'm going to come all the way back. Modified exalted. Reach, reach, reach. Inhale. Exhale. We'll take that down. This foot's going to come in. We're back into wide-legged stance. We're going to fold again. This time we're going to add a twist onto this fold. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the waist. Hinge and fold. Get into the outer edges of the feet. Good. Find where your hand needs to be. Find length. We always twist from length. So from here, I'm going to take my right hand under my face. I'm going to shift my hips over to the left. I'm really going to press into my floor as I open to the left. I'm looking up towards the ceiling if I can. Inhale. Exhale, we'll take that back down. Good. Hips are going to come back to center. A little bit of a deeper bend to center here, just a little bit of a reset, and we'll come back up. Good. This time, left hand's going to come under the face. Hips are going to shift to the right. Really pressing into that hand into the floor. Open to the right. Inhale. Exhale, we'll take that back down. Hips come back to center. One more time. Gentle little fold. Coming back to tabletop. Good. Pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Little bit of a bend in the knees. Hands to the thighs. Coming all the way back up. We're going to take that to the other side. So now left foot's going to come out. Good. Find any alignment adjustments that you need. I'm going to turn in this back foot here. Good. Get my own footing here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we'll find that warrior two. Good. So again, think about that front hip coming back a little bit, back hip coming forward. You should be able to see that front toe. I'm reaching. I'm in my front heel. I can press into my big toe and pinky toe mounts in that front foot. I'm pressing through the back edge of the back foot. I'm breathing with gratitude. Good. From here, for your exalted, you choose keeping that front knee bent, or maybe you want to lengthen it as you take it back. So find yours. Good. Inhale. Exhale. We'll carefully come out of there. Good. So once again, I'm a little bit too wide. I'm just going to come in just a smidge. Good. And from here, we'll find that extended side angle. So remember, you've got your block option here in case you need it. Any height you need. Outside if you're more of a beginner. Good. I'm going to come back into my warrior two. So find good warrior two. Good. From here, I'm going to press to the back. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. You choose. Are you going to take forearm to the thigh and open up? Are you going to take hand to a block? Maybe the floor. Maybe, like on this side, I can open a little bit deeper. So my block doesn't have to be as high. That may or may not be the case for you. Sides are different, so feel free to explore. And same with everything else. This knee, this front knee, is over behind the ankle, never forward. You don't want to rip or tear any delicate tendons there. That would be a very, very bad day, bad month, bad year. Good. And then from here, I'm in that front heel. I'm pressing through the back edge of that back foot. I'm looking down to that front foot. Good. I'm going to lengthen. I'm going to keep that leg long. I'm rooting my feet into the mat. Take it back into exalted. Breathing here. Good. Inhale. Exhale, coming back. Taking your feet back wide, parallel to the short edges of the mat. Just reconnect with your form. Are your big toes even to each other? And from here, we're going to fold again with another twist. So from here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands to the waist, hinge and fold. Good. Taking your hands down when you're ready. From here, when you're ready, left hand's going to come under the face. Hips are going to shift to the right. Press away, open to the right. You can stay here if it's okay for you. If you want to continue playing with wrapping that arm around the low back, feel free to do so. Belly button stays in here. Inhale. Exhale, we'll release. We'll take that back down. Good. Hips are back to center. A little bit of a fold through center. And we'll come back up. Right hand's going to come under the face. Shifting the hips to the right. Press away. Open to the left. Good. I hope I said hips shifted to the left as we open to the left. Right hand under the face. You can stay here. You can wrap it around. Good. Hopefully you meant to do the opposite of what we did on the other side. Good. And when you're ready to release, we'll come back down. Hips come back to center, and we'll fold center. Get a nice deep folder here. If it's okay for you, you can keep your feet where they are. Some people like to grab the outer edges of the feet or maybe yogi toe, elbows bending. And I'm just going to kind of give just a gentle tug. I have a micro bend in the knees. And then from here, when you're ready, I'm going to lift. I'm going to release my grip. Good. I'm going to put a little bit of a bend in the knees. I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to press up here. Good. Okay. One more standing sequence on each side. We're going to go to triangle and pyramid. So from here, I'm going to take right foot out. Good. Now, triangle is something different people like different alignments. Some people like a shorter stance for their triangle. Some people like a wider one. I think if you know where you are in your warrior two, that's probably the best place for you to be as a test. So again, you may want a block. Remember, it can be any height. On the outside, if you're more of a beginner, can be inside if you're a little bit more experienced. But from here, good. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart from one end to the other. And again, heel to arch, or this leg can still be out a little bit wider. My front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to shift forward. I'm rooting in. My front knee is soft. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Remember, you're lengthening, hinging from the hips. This is not a forward fold. And you're going to reach. When you can come no more, maybe coming to a thigh, maybe this is where you need to stop. Maybe a shin, maybe a block, maybe the floor. If your hip shifted as you opened up into your twist, think about front hip coming back, back hip coming forward. We're going to think about a stacking of the shoulders here. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, looking down at that front foot, putting a bend in that front knee, coming all the way back up. Good. We're going to do one more thing on this side. We're going to come to traditional pyramid. So from here, I'm going to take this back leg up. Good. Maybe about halfway from where you were. And this foot can do a couple different things. So I'm actually going to show you this here from this angle. So it's a shorter stance. So this stance, comes back a little bit here. So this stance all depends on what feels good to your hips. So you can have this foot, obviously hip, knee, and toe are going to face forward. Some people feel okay with the heel to heel alignment with this back foot at an angle. Okay. Some people's hips feel better if you're on parallel railroad tracks here. So be mindful of that. And again, you might do something on one side and something different on the other side. So I'm going to keep my block in my hand here. Good. And then from here, and I'm actually going to take my block forward like this. My front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to come forward. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart. My front knee is still going to be soft. Again, I'm going to hinge and fold. Good. I'm going to reach. And when I can reach no more, my hands are going to come down to the block. Maybe you don't need a block. Hands can come to the floor on each side of the foot. That's fine. But we're lengthening through the torso here. Now, as you become more open in the hamstring, if your body tells you it would be a good idea to fold in, you can, so long as the hamstring is okay with it and your front knee is soft. Good. Now I folded in a little bit deeper here. My feet are still rooted. I'm going to lift up. I'm going to put a bend in that knee. I'm going to get into that front heel as I come back up. Good. So I work on a lot of stability. That's why I have you engage your muscles on these poses. Otherwise, you just hang in flexibility or hang in stress, and you put yourself at risk for injury that way. So I'm just going to take this down. Good. We're going to take that all to the other side now. So from here, I'm just going to see where I am. Good. I'm going to take this foot out. This foot's going to come in. I'm going to give myself a test with that warrior two for my feet. Good. So I'm in a good position here for my triangle. So this is where I'm going to work. My front hip is going to come back. Right back hip is going to come forward. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart from one end to the other. Front knee is soft. I'm going to lengthen and hinge from the hips. When you can come no more, you can come to a thigh, maybe a shin, a block at any height here, and then we can open towards the side. Again, think about a nice stacking of the shoulders here. So if you think about opening up through that chest, we're in a soft front knee. We're breathing and expanding. Come back to that intention. Is it gratitude or something else? Good. Looking down at that front foot, we're going to put a bend in that front knee and we'll come back up. Good. So I've got my block in my hand coming into that pyramid on this side. So from here, I'm going to bring my back foot in about halfway. Good. Again, be your own judge. Be your own guru. What works for you? Is it the angled back foot, or do you need to be in parallel railroad tracks? Now, for me on this side today in this moment, my body's telling me parallel railroad tracks is what I need to do. But again, if it's better for you to take that angle, go ahead and do it. Just because I'm doing it in a different alignment on this side doesn't mean that that's the way you have to do it. We watch what our bodies are doing. Good. So I've got my block forward. My front hip's coming back, my back hip's coming forward. I'm soft in my front knee. I'm rooting my feet into the mat like I'm trying to rip it apart. My belly button is in. I'm hinging from the hips and I'm folding. And when I come no more, my hands are going to come down to the block. Maybe you're in the floor. So if you're like me and your hips may have shifted a little bit, think about that front hip coming back hip coming forward. I'm breathing and expanding. I've kept the length in my torso. Good. Now again, this is an option, not a requirement. If your hamstring will let you, this muscle back here, you can fold in deeper. Some people won't be able to do that. Breathe and expand. And when you're ready, rooting into both feet, you're soft in that front knee. I'm going to come up out of that deeper fold. I'm going to put a bend in that front knee, and I'm going to come up out of there. Good. One more time. We are going to take this out. Good. We're going to come into a goddess squat. So from here, just to get your bearings, think about ankles and wrists here. Good. Think about your big toes in alignment. Now we're going to switch that up. From here, we're going to turn our toes in. Sorry, that's wrong. We're going to turn our heels in. Toes are going to turn out. Hips, knees, and toes are going to turn out. Good. From here, big inhale, exhale, hands to heart center. Find a little squat. Now, how deep you go is going to depend on your hips and your knees. Okay. We want hips, knees, and toes to track. Please don't let your knees do this number. Why is this happening? Because we're not engaging through the outer edges of the feet. And to make that work, sometimes that means we're in just a slight little bend here until we get stronger to come into a deeper one. And that is all okay. Good. Now, I'm zipping up from my pubic bone behind the navel, belly button in. Arms are going to come out to the side. Yes, we're going to go for a burn here. Right arm's going to come on top. Left arm's on the bottom. Some of you are just going to hug yourself and kind of do a squeeze. Others are going to rack the forearms, finding an eagle arm. Right here. Breathing and expanding, just getting into the shoulders a little bit. Find your heels, find big toe and pinky toe mounds. And then from here, I'm going to release the arms. I'm going to come back up and out of there. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, we're going to go that again. Big inhale, exhale, find yours, which might be different than the last one you did. Good. Mind your alignment, hips, knees, and toes track. Try not to let the knees fall in. Press through outer edges of the feet. Arms out to the side. This time, left arm's on top, right arm's on bottom. Do you hug yourself or do you wrap? Zip up through that front body. Yes, we're burning, we're working, we're building that strength. We're building balance. We're releasing. We're coming up out of there. Whew. And take hands to prayer. You can heel toe until it's safe for you to step back in. Good. Maybe roll one ankle and foot in one direction and then in the other. Good. I'm going to grab my other block. We're going to come back to the top of our mat here. Good. From here, when you're ready, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, hinge from the hips and we'll fold, bending the knees. Come to blocks if you can't touch the floor, or the floor if you can touch there. Good. Get into all four corners of the feet. Inhale, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, and we'll fold. Now, if you need to keep your hands on your blocks here, please do so. Remember your blocks. You can also lower them down to two other lower positions. I'm going to grab opposite elbows here, and I'm just going to let myself enjoy this nice dangle. I'm breathing and expanding. I'm strong in my feet. I have a little bend in the knees. From here, when you're ready, if you've got opposite elbows, you can release. Hands can come to blocks of the floor. Inhale, lift and lengthen out of there. Exhale, little bow. Inhale, root through the feet, engage the glutes, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm going to step back to face you here. Good. From here, I'm going to take my right arm up. I'm just going to get a gentle side bend towards the left. I'm really pressing through that right side. I'm breathing and expanding. And coming back up. Use your obliques, your side abs. Other side reach. Taking it over. Reaching through that left side. Coming all the way back up. Good. From here, big inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, I'm going to open. I'm going to take a little back bend here. And take it up. Hands touch together. Exhale, hands to heart center. Stand where you're comfortable here, however you're comfortable. Just for a moment. Notice how you feel versus when we first started. If you're like me, maybe your lower half, for the most part, feels a little bit noodly, but I feel stronger. Reconnect with that intention you made for yourself, gratitude, or something else. And we'll take the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to our lips for good and kind words, and to our hearts for open and loving hearts, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful day, evening, or week ahead. Namaste.